In recent years, Ryan Reynolds has become one of the most visible and multifaceted figures in modern entertainment, balancing blockbuster films, entrepreneurial ventures, and an increasingly influential presence in pop culture. But what looks like effortless success from the outside actually reflects a far more complicated reality of constant pressure, non-stop visibility, and the demands of living multiple high-stakes careers at once. Known for his sharp humor, self-aware public persona, and ability to turn even promotional work into entertainment, Reynolds has built a brand that feels both authentic and heavily curated at the same time, and that balance is becoming harder to maintain as his responsibilities continue to expand. While audiences mostly see the jokes, interviews, and polished appearances, behind the scenes his professional life spans far more than acting alone, including production work, business investments, marketing strategy, and ownership stakes in major companies that require ongoing attention and decision-making. That level of involvement creates a workload that extends far beyond the traditional boundaries of Hollywood stardom, turning him into both performer and executive in multiple industries simultaneously. As his popularity has grown, so has the expectation that he remain constantly present in public spaces, whether promoting films, engaging on social media, or participating in branding campaigns that rely heavily on his personality. This constant visibility creates a unique kind of pressure, because unlike traditional actors who can step away between roles, Reynolds is often expected to remain on even when he is not actively filming. The line between his public persona and private life has become increasingly blurred, especially as his humor-driven identity has become a central part of his commercial and professional success. Fans now associate him not only with film roles but also with businesses, advertisements, and online content that rely on his distinctive voice and comedic timing. While this has made him one of the most marketable figures in entertainment, it also means there is little room for complete privacy or retreat from public expectation. At the same time, managing multiple creative and business projects requires constant decision-making and strategic focus, which can quietly accumulate into significant mental and emotional load over time. The entertainment industry itself has also shifted dramatically, with social media amplifying every appearance, comment, or project announcement into global discussion within minutes. For someone like Reynolds, whose brand is deeply connected to personality and relatability, this level of exposure means that even casual public moments can become part of a much larger narrative shaped by audience interpretation and online reaction. That dynamic creates an environment where consistency of image becomes almost as important as the work itself. Behind the humor and effortless charm that define his public image, there is a reality of constant engagement with expectations that span across film studios, business partners, and global audiences simultaneously. Even success in multiple areas does not reduce that pressure. Instead, it often multiplies it, because each new achievement expands the scope of responsibility. As his career continues evolving, Reynolds also navigates the challenge of maintaining creative identity while operating within large commercial systems that depend on his involvement. This requires balancing artistic choices with business considerations, a combination that can be both rewarding and demanding in equal measure. While he continues to be associated with humor and lightness, the scale of his professional commitments reflects a far more complex structure behind the scenes than most fans ever see. Over time, maintaining that level of output and visibility can naturally lead to moments of fatigue or reflection, especially in industries that rarely slow down. Yet instead of stepping away, Reynolds has continued expanding his presence across multiple fields, reinforcing a career model built on constant motion and reinvention. From the outside, this can appear effortless, but in reality it represents years of sustained effort to remain relevant, creative, and commercially successful in an environment that changes rapidly. The perception that something is hard to watch often comes not from visible struggle, but from the realization that even the most successful public figures operate under intense and continuous pressure to perform, adapt, and evolve without pause. In Ryan Reynolds' case, what audiences are witnessing is not decline, but the weight of extreme professional expansion, where entertainment, business, and personal identity intersect in a way that leaves very little untouched by public expectation, making his ongoing journey a reflection of how modern fame increasingly demands everything from those who reach its highest level.